Scott does have things to do today. He needs to be
I know.
recognized.
We're really tying him up.
We are. He's got to hike
hot.
the Apex Mountains.
He
Gotta cut
does.
the grass. He's got to pitch a tent.
More than one.
Haha. Waka waka.
He is
All right.
excited.
Steven, do your intro.
Oh, just for me. Thank you for tuning into the Subtle Nerd Podcast. My name is Steven.
And
I'm
this is
Tim.
my mustache.
Oh, guys, I didn't get the memo, you bastards. I just trimmed this
Yes,
one,
you
too.
did. I texted you.
And I trimmed my face. Huh?
I texted you.
You texted me a picture of Edward James Olmos's mustache. And I said, what? That's weird. Why would he do that? All right. So I'm Tim. And I'm Scott. Here, that's your turn, Scott.
And I'm
Gone
Scott.
Steven's
There
mustache.
it is. There it is. It's too early for this. All right. Well, I'll say we were supposed to watch, and I think some of us did, Robin Hood Men in Tights. And boy, did that not age as well as I think some of us were hoping.
Truly terrible.
Truly terrible. It was rough to get through. I started with all four of us in the house watching it. It was just me at the end. By the end of the movie.
It had its moments for sure. That
It
it had
did.
like pieces, but as a whole, it is almost unwatchable.
There were a few moments that were still LOL, like laugh
Yeah.
out loud funny. But overall, yeah, you're right.
I would have
Well, that
preferred
was-
to have just had the childhood memory of it than to actually watch it again.
That is my sentiment for your other choice of films.
Well, hold on. Before we get too far away, I would like
Wait.
to shout out Eric Allen Kramer, and I had to look up his name because I forgot his name. He was in Robin Hood Men in Tights. He was Little John in that movie. He's been like little bits and pieces of movies here and there, and he was on a show called Good Luck Charlie on the Disney Channel. He is hilarious. I like him a lot, and I thought he did great in that movie. That's all I'm going to say about. I'm done with Men in Tights.
Done.
So let's get
And
Eric
that
Allen Kramer on the
concludes-
show.
That concludes our episode. Thank you all for tuning in. It's been a delight.
There we go. So we went from Men in Tights, which was made in 1993, and then we all decided that National Lampoon's Loaded Weapon 1 was the next movie that we should do because we remembered it as being hilarious. Guess what year that came out?
1993.
1993. So I thought it was funny that we went from one 93 movie to another. Accidentally, not even on purpose. We're just that good.
That good. Tim and I disagree on this movie a smidgen. I was not pleased rewatching it. I think it should have stayed in memory in the memory banks, never to be recalled again. And watching it again was it was a chore.
And I, on the other hand, laughed like Scott's laughing now throughout the entire movie. Again. And I just
Again.
watched it a few years ago, not that long, because I wanted to show my oldest, Camden, the hilarity of this
Weirdness
movie.
goes.
I did that when I first logged on. It was great.
He did.
So funny. So first of all, Scott, did it hold up for you?
I mean, overall, the storyline is cheesy, right? But it's
It's supposed to be.
but it had,
Right.
yeah. I mean, if you were expecting some like massive redemption arc, then you probably were disappointed watching Loaded Weapon 1. I mean, but it did have its funny moments for
Yeah.
sure. And I love Tim Curry in this and Emilio Estevez. There's so many cameos in this too. It's
My
nuts.
God.
The
Yeah, she did
cameos
that
were
all the
nice.
time. So, Steven, what didn't work for you?
The entire thing. Like I
Not to be
remember,
specific.
I just remembered 1993. So we were what? Oh my God, we were 15. Like, so for a
Freshman in high
15-year-old
school.
boy, when this comes out, it's the most hilarious thing that you could possibly watch. Like I remember like not even being able to breathe watching this movie. I'm laughing so hard. And now I'm like, I mean, there was a couple of chuckles that I got. Just some of the back and forth. I'm like, but all in all, I'm just like, oh, did this movie need to be made? Like it's just one thing after the next. Like a National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, where it's like we've got our moments of absurdity, but like it's not like absurd every 16 seconds. This was just like one thing after the another of just crazy
Yeah.
things.
They didn't stop with the gags throughout the entire movie.
No, there
There's
was
something in
nonstop.
almost every scene.
Although I tell you, I always say this. I love Samuel L. Jackson. I think comedy is just, I think that's just his wheelhouse.
He
He's
plays a good
so
straight man.
funny. I don't know if you caught this. This is the first time I caught this because younger I didn't pay attention. This genuinely made me laugh out loud. This was like the one thing. So when they first go to the Wilderness Girls Cookies uh office
Factory, yeah.
So, and they meet not the bucktooth freckle-faced pigtail girl I knew from the third grade. When she's walking them to the office, Samuel L. Jackson is following her, going,
Yep. Yes. Yes, he is.
and looking dead at her, like with this hilarious face. And she turns around and he's like, that was hilarious.
Yes. Absolutely.
All in all, though, I mean, it's a parody of all the awesome action movies of the 90s.
So it's mostly a parody of Lethal Weapon, obviously. Which is interesting because Lethal Weapon came out in 87. Lethal Weapon 2, 89, Lethal Weapon 3, 92. But it heavily relies on Lethal Weapon 2 parodies. Like of the three of those movies, it's mostly Lethal Weapon 2. And it's weird that this movie would come out 4 years later and have that movie be the basis of their hilarity. You know what I mean?
I wonder if they wrote it 4 years earlier, right? Like, and it just took them that long to get it made.
It was originally supposed to be a Sledgehammer movie. Do you guys remember that show? I didn't look it up. It was on TV. It was one of those like Thursday night TV shows that me and my grandparents watched. Like it was kind of a cop parody show. It was supposed to be that the writer or director kept getting the scripts. He's like, no, this is garbage. I don't want to do it. And then it turned into this movie, which I thought was pretty interesting because I have very fond memories of watching Sledgehammer with my family when I was younger.
Satirical TV sitcom which ran from 86 to 88.
There you go. Do you remember that in your head? That's amazing.
Yes, in my head. I absolutely remember that without having seen it.
What was his name? Because he's been in a handful of things.
David Rash.
David Rash. Yeah, you could say any name. I don't really know.
You can say any name. It doesn't matter.
Frodo Baggins.
That's the one. He's
Theme
the guy
music
with the feet.
composer Danny Elfman.
For Sledgehammer?
Yes.
I do remember the song.
So back to your original question, didn't John Lovitz's character kind of hint at it in the Loaded Weapon 1 as to what they were doing and why they were doing it, Tim? When he's disarming the bomb and John Lovitz's character pops up there.
Scott, what was my original question?
You said, why did they parody Loaded? Jesus.
Oh,
why did they parody Lethal Weapon 2? And why did this movie come out at this particular time? And John Lovitz's character told you exactly why. He's like, isn't this like Hot Shots? Like, don't you guys, you've seen Hot Shots. Isn't this like Hot Shots? Is that what we're doing? We're doing Hot Shots, right? Because Hot Shots just came out.
Yeah. With Charlie Sheen, Emilio Estevez's
Yes.
half-brother, right?
Half-brother.
Yeah.
Half-brother, yeah.
So that's why they were doing it, because of Hot Shots. They wanted to be Hot Shots.
Jumping on that bandwagon.
Because the Naked Guns were out and Hot Shots was out, and everyone's like, oh, satirical slapstick
and Police
comedy.
Academy, right? Like there's that whole kind of trilogy
absolutely.
of very similar comedy styles that all kind of launched in the 80s there.
Oh yeah, Police Academy. Aren't they still happening? I don't even know. But it's cool. They got Lance Kinney, who played Proctor in the Police Academy movies, for this movie too. I enjoyed seeing that. I remember thinking as a kid, like, "Hey, it's Proctor."
Irv. That's his
Irv.
name
Yeah.
in there is Irv.
But Chief, you don't have dandruff.
I know.
There it is. So bits like that, they fall flat on people who are viewing it for the first time now, because nobody remembers the Head and Shoulders commercials except 40 freaking year olds and above.
Yes.
But man, that part still makes me giggle so hard when, he hands him the bottle. He's like, "Chief, you don't have it." I know. Hands him the bottle. Next scene you see him,
He's got the
on the
shampoo
crime
on.
scene still, rubbing it in. He's like, "Hey, Chief, it tingles." That means it's working. And like that's a commercial. That's the commercial. But
Yes.
my kids don't see the hilarity in that because they didn't grow up with that commercial, and that's not ingrained in their heads as core memories like us.
We've got to strap them down and make them watch 80s commercials.
Yes.
You know what? I think we found out what we're doing during the beach week.
The opening scene where Whoopi Goldberg picks up the old corded phone and dials the buttons. I look at Emma, I'm like, what is that thing? What is she doing? Jeez, pressing buttons?
Yeah, the movie did get dated a little bit, but
All right, kids, we have
expected.
compiled over 2,000 hours of commercials from the 1980s and early 90s. Enjoy your vacation.
Jackson, make some popcorn for everybody.
All the kids are crying in the room.
Can't swim in the pool until you watch the whole thing.
The Rebel base is on Yavin.
After the fifth My Little Pony commercial, we can take a break.
You have to relive my childhood. Go watch all the face.
So yeah, like we hinted towards earlier, there are bits throughout this entire movie, even when like we first see Samuel L. Jackson's character, he's walking to the house and there's stuff going on in the background as he's walking to the house. And even while he's in the house, there's a sign that said "Caution, wet blood." Things that we didn't see as kids, but watching it as, somebody who knew they were going to like be reviewing or talking about this movie, I'm looking at all the background stuff and just like little things like that. They didn't stop. They did not. And I appreciated it.
His drive to the crime scene where he's weaving in and out of traffic. There's a cement mixer. There's a car hauler. There's some there's an ice cream stand.
Everything's parked there. Like the food truck, everybody's waiting to get food. Yeah, it made me giggle.
I think the one thing that made me giggle more than anything else was, and I think Scott giggles a lot at this too, where he's like, "What do you got, Sarge?" And he picks up like this slime, and he's like, "Nothing solid." He's like, "Any theories? E equals MC square." Any theories of your own? That was amusing.
There was a lot of, in my opinion, this movie is like a collection of funny moments. It's the plot, like you were talking about, is not like, it's kind of like a funny context. Like the Girl Scouts are using cocaine cookies to traffic. That's funny, but
they
just
got
like the
decent names.
Yeah, I was just reading that Charlie Sheen did the cameo as kind of a favor to Emilio, but
Gurn.
Just look at, just some of the one-liners that were just so dry too. Like, is that her? No, that's her picture.
That was amusing.
I love it. And he takes out a shirt with her picture
wobbly.
on it.
Yeah. But yeah, it certainly was around the time where, like, I think we were just coming off of Naked Gun 2.5, was it? Like right around that time.
Was that when it was out? Let's all look it up and be quiet.
30.
Yeah, let's everybody be quiet. That's 1991.
Okay. So essentially.
Yeah. Smell of Fear. But it's the same style. Like, Of course, nobody does it like Leslie Nielsen.
Hey, give me a name. Aren't your parents supposed to do that?
Yeah.
It makes me giggle every time. God, like it's these are dad jokes before we
It
were
is.
dads, and we didn't realize it.
We did not. When he's talking to Kathy Ireland,
Mm.
why are you here? Oh, I got dropped off. No, but what brought you here? The taxi. No, I mean, why the hell did you come here?
Hey, Chief, I got a nagging burning sensation. What the hell do you expect? Your foot's on fire. So
Oh.
stupid,
Right.
but so funny.
And William Shatner captures the piranha with his teeth.
Jesus.
That's yeah. Okay. That all right. I'll jump in Steve's boat for that. That was just
Awful.
visually awful.
Awful? Was awful.
Yep. He
Awful.
spits it right back out in the tank. But I'm jumping right back out of Steve's boat. I'll
Yeah,
give
that-
him one.
And
or
I'm
two
out.
weeks. Yeah.
I'm
It
out.
was an early Dennis Leary scene, of course, but
Dennis Leary, Denise Richards is in that scene,
Yes.
yeah,
and that's like I noticed her before I noticed him because she kind of stood out back then.
Mm-hmm.
She's a very pretty girl.
She's no Bail Organa's wife, but she is a
speaking of-
looker.
Do you see this? You guys, hold on. Let me get. I'm backwards. Do you see this right here?
I see your finger pointing at somebody.
I might have an autographed picture of her, guys. I had to grab it. Simone Kessel. She's here.
She has a name.
She's right here.
She's right there. There
That's what
she
I did.
is.
I did it backwards and upside down. Well, normal. Yep, there she is. And she's going to be in
Sounds
every one of her podcasts forever.
Intriguing. Backwards and
Yep.
upside down. That's new.
Well, I think there's a name for that position, but we'll talk about that later. Anyway, let's get back to Kathy Ireland.
anywho.
Kathy Ireland,
Yeah.
famous famous model at the time.
Thank whoever you pray
Oh,
to
Scott.
that she was here in our lifetime. No. It wasn't me.
Yeah, the Play-Doh sketch. Oh my Christ.
So good. Oh, no, wrong movie, Scott. There
Oh.
we go. We got him. We got him back.
He's back.
Yeah. So thank goodness Kathy Ireland was in as many movies as she was back in the 80s and 90s. Unnecessary Roughness.
Oh,
That
yeah.
was a fun one.
I'm doing this from my head. Mom and Dad Save the World. She was great in that. I don't think anybody's ever seen that movie except me. But that's also
It's because
John
you
Lovitz.
love Terry Garr.
Oh my God, I
Terry
do.
Garr.
Terry Garr. Yeah, Terry Garr and Kathy Ireland in the same movie. Come on, with John Lovitz.
Stop.
And
Mr.
Jeffrey-
Destiny.
Jeffrey Jones. That's
Remember that?
Destiny. Yes, I do. Let's see. Man, I'm going through my notes pretty quick here. Oops.
But there's not a lot to talk about with this film, Tim.
There is. There's still a lot. We haven't even really gotten into the cameos. So
The cameos
talked-
were the most fun.
So we talked about the big names. The big names back in '93. Emilio Estevez,
Well, yeah.
William Shatner,
Yeah.
Tim Curry.
Yeah.
So was Sam L. Jackson a big name in '93?
No,
Or-
he was not, but he was coming off of
He was in Jurassic Park. That was '93, but that was more. I don't even know if you'd call that. It's more of a cameo, more than a cameo, I should say, that he had in that movie. So what he was coming off of what?
He was off of he was in Patriot Games, he had a
Holy
cameo in
crap.
Goodfellas.
He was in Patriot Games. You're right. That's right.
Goodfellas, you remember? Stacks.
I don't remember him in Goodfellas.
He's got a quick scene. He was the truck driver, Stacks, and then
Oh,
Joe
yeah.
Pesci, subsequently murders him. He was in Coming to America. He was in
Yes. Yes, he
The
was.
Exorcist 3, Mo Better Blues. He was in Menace to Society.
Okay.
His 1993 was Menace to Society, Loaded Weapon 1, Amos and Andrew, Jurassic Park, True Romance.
True Romance was '93.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
so he was getting started. So
Yes.
people knew him.
And then Pulp Fiction, and he's a superstar.
And then, yeah, when was Pulp Fiction? 95?
94.
94. Yeah.
Damn it.
94. So like the
Got it.
next year, and he's a household name.
Yep. Yeah.
He was in everything. You know, like if you look at his catalog, especially compared to others,
just-
right? 6 movies a year.
We just
Yeah.
watched Coming to America a few nights ago. Was that his first movie?
No.
No, it's
Okay.
Together for Days, 1972.
Really?
Yes.
Was he like a bellhop?
He
Stan.
played the role of Stan, who was obviously a critical character, Tim. Jesus.
So we went from 72 to 83, 84? something like that?
81. It was 9 years later, and then 6 years after that, he was in Eddie Murphy Raw, and then the next year, because of Eddie Murphy, I think, because it's Coming to America right after that, and then he's off to the races.
When was Coming to America?
88.
88? Holy crap.
88.
I thought it was earlier than that. Okay. Heavens to Betsy.
If it's to Murgatroyd, it's Eric Melvin even.
All right, so we got those main guys. Let's see. I'm gonna go down the list. Kathy
Bru-
Ireland was a star.
Yes.
What were you gonna say?
Well, I thought you were going to go over cameos.
I was. I'm starting with the people who were big at this time. So we got the main cast. John Lovitz was also big at this time. We knew him already,
And
right?
Tim Curry. Yeah.
Tim Curry.
Yeah.
What about the
Tim
Bruce Willis?
So the Bruce
Yeah.
Willis, yeah, of course we knew him. He did this more as a favor to, and maybe somebody can help me. I think it was like the producer.
Was it the
Right.
producer? Let's see.
He did that cameo as a favor because
It's
somebody
his brother,
he liked.
Daniel Willis. David Willis.
Oh, is
Willis.
his brother?
His
Yeah,
brother,
okay.
who's a producer.
All right, give me control of the screen, please. I promise to not show any naked bears.
Timmy,
I found something-
you can already do that. You have
Oh my gosh! Really?
you have full power.
Screen.
You
have been endowed with all of my
powers.
All right, hold on. Yes, I'm gonna share something. Can you see it?
And we just
No.
got copyright block.
No. This
Yeah.
was no way. Let's not talk.
I don't
about
see
it.
anything.
I don't
Are
see
you
anything
serious?
either. Yeah. Are you just sharing your blank screen, Tim? What are we doing here?
Am I still? Stop share. So did it say copyright block?
No, Scott
I-
is making reference to what will happen when I go to upload this.
Okay. So I wonder.
You can
All
screen
right,
share,
just-
just do it right this time.
I did.
Or do it
Sure.
correctly. Either way.
Entire screen. Hold on. Window. Tab. Let me try it again. Let me try it one more time.
Holding for Tim.
Holding for Tim. Can you see it now?
No.
We see Tim has started sharing his screen.
Nope. It's not going to work. Okay. So I thought something was very interesting. When this movie came out in Japan, the movie poster had Bruce Willis on the poster.
Really?
So
Did it really?
it was the classic Lethal Weapon 2 pose with Emilio Estevez on the right and Samuel Jackson on the left, both holding their guns up like this. Charlie Sheen is between them as the Joe Pesci character, like trying to burst through, and Bruce Willis is right on the bottom, holding some kind of can or drink. So
Charlie Sheen was the Joe Pesci character?
yeah, in the poster,
Damn it.
and
if
it was
you
like
can-
a badly drawn poster. I wish it won't share.
You said Lethal Weapon 2?
I said that at some point. Yeah. What do you mean?
Because I'm going to bring it up and I'm going to share it.
Okay, yeah, it was the Loaded Weapon 1 poster in Japan with Bruce Willis. And I thought that was a neat little tidbit, and I found it, but you can't see it. Copyright infringements. Be damned. But that was interesting because obviously Bruce Willis Die Hard was huge, so they were pushing that to show this movie. Which, oh wait, we're sharing black screen.
There it is.
Wait, can you see it?
I can see this. Yeah, whoever's sharing now.
I'm sharing now.
I have a black screen. Why is this
Well,
happening?
Just imagine it, Tim.
But Scott,
I-
you can see that.
I can see that. Yes.
Good.
I think we're all
Yeah,
seeing the same thing,
they
but
did. They
crudely drawn, not
they
crudely.
they crudely drew Charlie Sheen, and then Bruce Willis is. What is he holding? Some kind of drink that has a
Yeah,
person on it.
I would
Okay.
assume
Pabst
a Japanese
Blue.
drink. Yeah, I couldn't see it. That's really weird. I wonder how this is going to turn out. Anyway, but yeah, I just thought that was a neat little tidbit.
That is a neat little tidbit because they were just cameos in there.
Yeah. All right, let's keep going down the list. So we got John Lovitz, Lance Kinsey, already talked about, who was Irv.
Corey
Dennis
Feldman.
Leary, we talked about.
Corey Feldman.
Corey Feldman with no lines, right? He didn't have.
Yes,
to speak
yes, he
lines.
had
Yeah,
lines.
Did he?
He was
When-
the cop who fired the gun. Remember?
Yes.
Oh, right. Yes.
Who
and
fired
in that
that
same
shot?
scene,
That
Yep.
that was me. That I fired that shot.
and in that same scene, who else did we get?
Phil Hartman.
Yes.
Mhm.
It brings a tear to my eye every time I see him. on
It
screen.
does. Oh my God.
That was way too early. We lost him way too early. He was great. Did his little stand-up act with his radio voice. Loved it. F. Murray Abraham.
Yes.
So he played the Hannibal Lecter character. Did you guys see anything about him? Am I going to share something that you didn't see?
Maybe. Go for it.
So
Please do, Tim.
as he's introduced, well, we get Richard Mall, who played
Yes.
Bull in Night Court, told everybody, told him to go down the hall, stay to the right.
Right.
No, stay to the left. No, wait, the right. And then they're getting grabbed. F. Murray Abraham got the mask on. He's all tied up. His fall was actually him, and he hurt himself. That was a mistake. He wasn't supposed to fall. That was not a stunt person. They had to break for a little bit to make sure he was okay, but they kept it in. The director kept it because it was hilarious.
Wow.
Yeah, and
He
Steven
never
was just
played
like,
the piano again after that.
because he was tied. He couldn't stop himself, so he took that like a champ.
Oh,
Wow.
God.
Yeah, that was one take. And Steven's just like, oh, the stupid slapstick. But no, that was not on purpose. That
And
was an
Steven
accident.
hated the film even more because of that scene, and it was a complete and total mistake.
But it worked, and it was great.
I don't like their
Forgot
comedy.
he was Salieri in
Yes.
Amadeus. Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
He killed Mozart.
Lynn Shay. Does that name ring a bell for anyone?
Lausche?
Lynn
Lauge.
Not Lao Shay Airlines, but Lynn Shay.
Yes, all the Peter Farrelly Dumb and Dumber. Yeah,
Not Dumb and Dumb. Was she in Dumb and Dumber?
she was in Kingpin for sure. I
was
think
in
she
Kingpin.
she did have a spot in Dumb and Dumber. She
Something About Mary
yeah. It's all the Peter Farrelly.
and Detroit Rock City. She was in that.
All the she loves the
Yeah.
comedies.
So she was a witness. That might have been one of her earliest roles. Might have been. I don't know. Scotty from Star Trek.
James Doohan.
Mm-hmm. That was a great cameo. It was the coffee machine, right? Where he's
Yep.
giving
Yes.
it all she's got. So good. Eric Estrada, Larry Wilcox from Chips. Great cameos. And I noticed Eric Estrada called Larry.
Larry.
Yeah,
Yes, he
like
did.
their real names.
Yes.
Where in IMDb they're credited as Punch and hold on.
Yeah, you're right. I'm just shaking my head because he definitely Larry and then
John.
shoots towards him to get his attention.
That's right.
Mm.
Shoots right above his head. That's right. Yeah. So they're credited as their characters from Chips, but they weren't because he called him, "Hey, Larry." Like he just said it in like this little Brooklyn accent almost. So I thought that was pretty funny. Whoopi. We got
Whoopi.
She's
Yeah.
uncredited, but she played a pretty big role there in the beginning.
Yeah.
And later on, when they rolled her out, showing her to JT Walsh.
A little out of focus.
You got anything bigger? Yeah, so Whoopi Goldberg played a pretty good role in that. Who
Paul
else we got?
Gleason.
Paul Gleason, yes, another FBI agent.
And then but he's like he was the Breakfast Club principal.
Yes, he was. And he was in one of the two Endor movies with the Ewoks. He was the dad that died like right in the beginning. Spoiler alert.
Oh my God, I haven't seen it. Tim, you ruined the whole
I
movie.
apologize that
God,
I ruined the first 3 minutes of Return to Endor.
40 years later, I cannot watch that movie.
I'll bring it with us to the beach because I got it on DVD if you want to borrow it.
What about Laserdisc? Do you have it on Laserdisc, Tim?
Yes. Hold on.
The popular I
Yep.
know you do.
No,
God
no,
damn
I don't. I
it. If anybody's got that, it's you.
don't. Dr. Joyce Brothers, right in the beginning. That was a fun cameo.
Dr. Joyce Brothers.
Yeah. See, that's another thing that falls flat for people watching it now that have no clue what the 80s and 90s had in store.
Well,
Joyce
yeah,
Brothers
then
wasn't a thing that now. Isn't a thing now. What were you saying?
I missed deleted scene because they said Christopher Lambert was a cameo, but I didn't see that.
Was it a deleted scene or was he just like standing in a phone booth?
It says man with car phone.
Car phone. Okay. I did see he was on the phone. Oh yeah, you're right. Deleted scene. So maybe I didn't watch all the features on my DVD.
Wow, you missed a DVD feature?
I do apologize, guys. This is
God
on me.
damn it.
This one's on me. So the
All in all,
movie,
it's a solid meh for me. Like there was the a couple of giggles. I did like seeing the cameos because I picked up a couple of more, watching it 20 years later. But all in all, if it stayed in my childhood memory, I would be very, very pleased if it just lived there. 15-year-old Steven loved the movie.
I still love it. I will probably watch it again in a few years and giggle just as hard as Scott did in the beginning of our meeting today.
Wow, he did let it out a little bit.
It's true. Scott, are you going to watch this ever again?
Scott's like, I haven't seen it in 30 years. What are you talking about?
I think it was fun to watch. The kids thought it was funny too.
Yeah.
For the most part. But
My kids didn't laugh one time.
Oh, you know who we missed?
They looked at me
overhyped it. You overhyped it.
They looked at me with contempt. I did not. I started off saying this is going to be terrible.
Well, you can't prefix it like that.
Wow. Scott's like, oh, you probably oversold it. Now he's like, oh, you undersold it.
It's just a case of bad parenting right there. That's all that is.
Wow.
Wow. Of which we should do Parenthood one of these days.
I agree. That's a good one.
Yeah.
2 cameos that I missed. Charles Napier and Charles Cyphers. Do those names sound familiar to you guys?
I'll have to look them up.
Silence of the Lambs for one of them.
Charles Napier played the tough guy in so many movies. He was in, I think the movie that I remember him most was Blues Brothers. He was the head of the Good Old Boys band, if you remember that. But he's been in a ton of stuff. Charles Cyphers was in the Halloween movies as Sheriff Brackett. I think I'm getting that name right. But he was in the original, like the first 2 Halloweens, and I think he was in another one later. But at the time, people were like, hey, it's those guys. So those are the 2 cameos I missed. I think we got pretty much everybody else.
Yeah, I'm not seeing. Oh, yeah.
What are you not seeing?
Well, I mean, Dennis Leary.
Yeah, we got him. Him and Denise Richards. But I think we got him. I think we covered all of them.
I think we got him too.
The movie made $51 million with a budget of $8 million. So
you would say that it's a success?
So you would say that, and that confused me with the next bit of information that I found. They had fully intended to make a sequel to it with the tagline, "Oh, come on, you knew it would happen." That was going to be the sequel. They made a poster and everything. So I'm confused because they said they didn't make enough money from this to warrant a sequel. I feel like 40 some million is a
The way they're
success.
hemorrhaging money today with everything that they do.
Well, today, yeah. But yeah,
We only made 400%. Not
right.
enough.
So like, I just don't get it. Like how the sequel didn't get made, especially in an era of sequels, because we were in the midst of Naked Gun and Police Academy sequels out the ass, and then you know we got another Lethal Weapon sequel later.
Probably in the vault with Spaceballs too. The search for more money.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't
Which
we get
Mel Brooks has not written off yet. He'd still like to do it. The man's 90s, what, 7 years old? Still wants to do it.
You could do one heck of a spoof on those 3 Star Wars, the last 3 Star Wars.
Mm-hmm. What were you saying over there, Mustache?
I was yeah, more sequels and more sequels, because Lethal Weapon 4, oh my God, that was 6 years after the previous. Oh my God, there's like a Lethal Weapon lethal finale
Oh yeah,
to be announced. Mel Gibson director. Oh my Jesus.
Richard Donner gave him the blessing before he passed to direct. I'm a sucker for those movies, guys. Maybe that's why I like this movie so much, because those 4, the first 3 I grew up on.
I really liked Lethal Weapon 4.
4
with
was
Jet Li.
not terrible. Chris Rock could have toned it back a bit, but Jet
that
Li
was him at the time. Yeah, but Jet Li did awesome.
Jet Li made that movie
because he was so menacing.
Yeah, no, he was hardcore. Joe Pesci probably didn't need to be in that movie at that time. He was just kind of, he called it in.
He called it in. I need some work for.
Every scene with Jet Li in that movie was fantastic, especially the finale. So good. We can talk about that one another time.
We'll do Lethal Weapon 4 another time.
We could probably do one episode with all 4 lethal weapons.
I agreed. Maybe we start to do that. We bundle some of these ones that it isn't so important.
Yeah, we could have done this and Men in Tights, which we kind of did a little.
Yeah.
With my respect for Eric Allen Kramer. Come on, man. Come on the show, Eric.
Are we wrapping this one up and then we'll chat?
Yeah, I think we could.
I think we can wrap.
I think
thanks for joining us today. And Steven's mustache and Tim's aquarium that has toys in it.
If y'all liked this movie more than Steven did, please leave some comments, give us a like, and Scott and I would be glad to answer any questions or continue talking about this movie.
Yeah. Or if you just agree with me and that we should never play this again, then be like, yeah, I just agree with Steven. Can you nerds talk about something else, for the love of Christ? And we'll go on to talk about something completely different. Maybe we can look at Incredible Hulk next and continue our foray into the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Timothy.
Oh, is it Timothy? Is there a Timothy?
And I like your idea too, guys, around, giving away free quarts of eggnog to whoever answers the questions.
Hey, if it works, it works.
Don't remember discussing that, but
it was your idea.
You weren't here for that?
Of course, it was mine.
Let's give the people what they really want. Eggnog.
Yes. What the hell do you think I'm drinking right now in my Naked Kermit mug?
Yeah, summer eggnog is the best.
Summer eggnog.
Eggnog was a bad decision.
On that note, folks, have a great day. Let us know what movie you want us to do. Maybe we'll do it. Maybe we'll ignore you.
Thank you all. We appreciate you for watching till the end. Both of you.
This is the end. All right, you're gonna go.